Didn't take long. Blue Jays. Look at him. That's fucking hilarious.
excited to tell you that we already have over 100 listeners booked for our July 2026 Mediterranean Sea Cruise. If you haven't booked yet, what are you waiting for? Join in on the fun. Visit chrisplantcruise.com.
Look out, the flu monster could be anywhere. He could be right next to you on the bus, at the store, at the game, or in the conference room. Protect yourself with a flu shot. Appointments are open for ages 2 and older, or just walk in. SkinnyDrugs.com.
Need to have more shall do language rather than language that says as appropriate.
Training for the SRO is also a sticking point, as some worried there wasn't enough in the memo. Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Sawyer with the County Sheriff's Office.
The removal of those lines of training is not reducing the training that our SROs get at all.
Up next, the memo will head to the full school board for more consideration. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
A big vote scheduled today in Montgomery County to repair the schools.
The Montgomery County Public School Board will decide on whether to support a $2.7 billion capital improvement plan to modernize school buildings and other infrastructure over the next 6 years.
And even with that level of investment, we still won't clear the backlog that has built up over so many years.
Its estimated full repairs could total more than $5 billion. County Executive Mark Elrich blames the district for not speaking up sooner. Maria Leaf on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Some 300 members of the Indiana National Guard are being mobilized to spend the winter in D.C.
They're expected to arrive next month. Governor Mike Braun says the D.C. National Guard requested the help for its D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force. Recent data show more than 1,200 guardsmen from other states are already in the district, on top of the more than 900 local members of the National Guard. The guardsmen will be here no longer than 4 months.
7 News' Adriana Hopkins. The Indiana Guardsmen will replace members from 7 states and the district. Travel experts say the worst Thanksgiving traffic next week will not be coming on Wednesday.
Peak congestion in our region will be on Tuesday.
Regina Ali with AAA.
The Tuesday leading up to Thanksgiving around 4:30 p.m., particularly from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore.
With more than 82 million traveling nationally, and in our area, 1.6 million, most of them on the road, while the airports will also be busy.
Some folks did actually opt to cancel their flights because they were not sure what was going to be happening.
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Checking your money. The Dow Futures up 455 points at this hour. NASDAQ Futures up 530. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 30th, so call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-BIBLE-11. That's 855-BIBLE-11. 855-BIBLE-11.
Look out, the flu monster could be anywhere. He could be right next to you on the bus, at the store, at the game, or in the conference room. Protect yourself with a flu shot. Appointments are open for ages 2 and older, or just walk in. SkinnyDrugs.com.
WMAL traffic and weather. Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
No change in Bowie. 197 remains closed each direction between Racetrack Road and Rustic Hill Road. Accident brought down pole and wires. Trying to shake the rush hour delays, but now we have the road crew set up on the Beltway outer loop as you pass River Road toward the American Legion Bridge. It's the left lane coned off, jammed out of Bethesda and off at 270. 95 Virginia still slow out at Dumfries to get past the accident activity at the Prince William Parkway. That's all over to the shoulder now. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
clouds are set to win the day. Highs to be on either side of 50 degrees. We'll have mostly cloudy skies with patchy fog overnight. Lows between 37 and 46. Tomorrow, we're tracking mostly cloudy skies. Milder highs between 55 and 60 with areas of rain, especially tomorrow night. I'm 7 News meteorologist Eileen Whalen.
Right now, it is
I'm
43 at
surprised
Herndon, 42
you
at
were able
Greenbelt,
to
and 44
remove
at
the
Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Well, guys, Congress just passed the bill to release the Epstein files, and now it's up to President Trump to decide when or if that happens. Releasing the Epstein files is very high on Trump's to-do list. It's right between play catch with Eric and eat a kale salad.
And it's just play catch with Eric and eat a kale salad. That's it. The apex of comedy on national television in 2025 in the United States of America. We're not what we used to be. It's them. They are the ones. Well, on a thrilling Thursday to you, welcome back. We are at 888-630-9625. A week from today, I think, is Thanksgiving, isn't it? Today's Thursday, and a week from today is Thanksgiving. So don't forget to buy your turkey, living or not. Time to chop on all of that, because turkey is delicious. They love making the sacrifice for our dinner table. Makes them very happy. And in case you're not aware, the cost of a Thanksgiving dinner has declined under President Trump. While the Democrats are firebombing synagogues and yelling, the cost of everything is too high, everything's too expensive. Then apparently Trump in 10 months was supposed to change the cost of a can of peas and everything else that's available. I remember I think the first year of Joe Biden's presidency, our grocery store shelves were bare. They were bare. You couldn't get bread. It was like there was a snowstorm coming to Washington. And that's, when the snowstorm is coming to Washington, everything white is cleared out of all the grocery stores. Milk and bread and rice and potatoes and, oh yeah, I'm sorry, toilet paper, and I forgot about that, and paper towels, and they're all gone. And then and when Joe Biden was president, then nothing ever came back, because it's like communism. They're like communists. Isn't that amazing? But this is fun. The cost of a Thanksgiving dinner declines. And the American Farm Bureau put out the news on this. Also, I shared what was the CEO of Walmart, the family-owned operation. He also explained that the cost, we played the audio here on the big radio broadcast, explained that this year the cost of a Thanksgiving dinner was down. And it's all because of the economic policies of Donald Trump and the Republicans. Now, the Democrats, they're still wrestling around in that jail cell in New York, trying to figure out who killed Jeffrey Epstein or something like that. I don't know, they're trying to figure out, but they're all over that. And the headlines yesterday, I don't know if you caught the headlines yesterday, but this was an attention grabber, that's for sure. The New York Post with the headline is a Jeffrey Epstein story, I assure you. What is a micro penis? What is a micro penis? That's, I don't know, and I thought, I don't know, I guess I could name a number of Democrat members of Congress that come to mind immediately. But the headline is, what is a micro penis? Condition that Hitler and Jeffrey Epstein may have had. I mean, may have had. I think, Hitler might be a may have had, but Jeffrey Epstein, I think a lot of people know. I think a lot of people can tell you, as I understand the situation. But never mind that. That's quite a headline. And the next headline, also the New York Post, they're covering the story as they covered the story of Hunter Biden's laptop, for example. And it was all true and accurate. And the rest of the media lied about it. And then they remember the intelligence community and penitentiary face Brennan lied about it. They all lied about it as all the earmarks of Russian disinformation. No, you have all the earmarks of Russian disinformation, penitentiary face. But never mind that. The next headline, Jeffrey Epstein victim describes his penis. So this is where they go immediately. As, quote, extremely deformed, lemon-shaped, which, as I asked around a little yesterday, that is less than ideal, as I understand it, less than ideal. So we got that, and the Democrats, they're a strange bunch. They certainly are. And, Larry Summers, who was the Treasury Secretary under Bill Clinton in the Bill Clinton White House, and then had a senior position in the Economic Council of the Barack Hussein Obama White House, Larry Summers, and he was the president of Harvard University, and he was all in with Jeffrey Epstein, and he has already come out and said he's very ashamed, but he's going to keep collecting the paycheck from Harvard. Don't worry about that. And I think they pay their professors about $900,000 a year if you teach one class. You don't necessarily have to teach a class either, but the headline from the Crimson, this is the Harvard University publication. It's the Harvard Crimson. Everybody knows that, right? Even a small child can tell you that at Harvard they publish their school newspaper called the Crimson. It's the color of the school, that and white, of course, but never mind that. Harvard to launch new investigation into Epstein's ties to Summers, because Larry Summers was the president of Harvard and a Clinton administration official, an Obama administration official, and a Democrat, and all that. Still no evidence that Donald Trump was involved in anything nefarious, but Larry Summers, definitely lots of nefariousness going on there. Harvard to launch new investigation into Epstein's ties to Summers, other university affiliates. Really, you call the former president of Harvard a university affiliate? Is that what it is? So they've got, it turns out lots of people at Harvard have their ties to Jeffrey Epstein, a lifelong Democrat raising money for Democrats, for Hillary Clinton, for Bill Clinton, hey, what about that meeting with, because he said that it never happened, the Democrat leader in the House of Representatives, Hakeem Jeffries. We've got the documents in the left-wing group going to Jeffrey Epstein and saying, hey, you need to meet this new up-and-comer in the Democrat Party, first-term New York congressman, Hakeem Jeffries. He's a jihadi. Maybe you'll like him. I just added the jihadi part, but it's true enough. And isn't that amazing? So Harvard is going to look at not just, and again, they're expanding the scope of this because they've discovered that there's such goings on at the Harvard University when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein. And now they've got to look into Summers and other university affiliates. And I will share the contents of that Crimson article with you as well. And the next headline from the Daily Beast, left-wingers at the Daily Beast, very, very left-wingers. The headline is Jasmine Crockett's humiliating Epstein blunder exposed. It's exposed. They say, when he, Mr. Micropenis, he exposed himself quite frequently, as I understand it. But there you have that. And Kamala Harris is back. She's got a book. What's it, 107 days? Oh, no, poor me. Dimwit. Kamala Harris accuses Trump, that'd be Donald Trump presumably, of gaslighting America on Epstein. Release the files. Release the files. She's yelling, release the files. Everybody's all for releasing the files, and don't you worry about it. But they want to. President Trump is saying, yeah, we're gonna release the files. And what I was looking at it yesterday, thinking they should just release them in their raw form now with all of the names of the victims and say, well, the Democrats demanded that we release all the files, names of the victims and the lawyers and the accused people who are maybe not guilty. And the Democrats just want to firebomb every synagogue in America. They're just not on the side of civilization. Isn't that amazing? And this is a great one. Another Democrat story. Democrat representative. This is great. Indicted for allegedly stealing $5 million in FEMA money, the Federal Emergency Management Agency for storms and things like that. But a Democrat representative has been indicted for allegedly, got to say allegedly because, they have lawyers, allegedly stealing $5 million in FEMA funds. Isn't that great? Democrat Florida representative
Sheila Phyllis McCormick, accused of stealing $5 million in FEMA funds. The Washington Post is not covering the story. The New York Times is not covering the story. CNN is not covering the story. They don't cover the news. And more Democrat news today because there are a lot of them still on the loose. We don't have enough mental institutions for all of them, but we're going to have to do something about that. This is amazing. A man named J.D. Vance has been jailed because he threatened to kill Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. Guy's got some issues. I read into the story. It turns out he also threatened to kill Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and others. But his name is J.D. Vance. Got to be tough living up to that. So he's going to have to go to the penitentiary for 5,000 years. VP J.D. Vance threatened by man also named J.D. Vance, who will now serve prison time. Not very much prison time, though. And in Chicago, I told you about the story of a Democrat walked up to a woman on a Chicago Transit Authority, a CTA train, a subway train, and a Democrat walked up to the woman and drenched her in flammable liquid and set her on fire and burned her nearly to death. That's quite horrible. Horrible story. The Blue Line, Chicago Transit, Blue Line fire attacker yelled, "Burn alive, B!" B word. It's a B word, like a female dog. "Burn alive, B!" As officers took him into custody, he was screaming, "Burn alive, B word, burn alive, burn, B word, burn," he's screaming. Then he added, "Burn alive, B word," and he's yelling it while the police are still arresting him. And police have identified him as a member of the Democratic Party. That's the perp. Oh, and by the way, the perp had been arrested again and again and again and should have been in prison. But the Democrats keep letting the criminals out until they set women on fire on subway trains. And then they say, well, now we should probably put him in prison. But this guy was arrested year after year, crime after crime. And the Democrats just keep saying, you can go. Oh, we'll wait until you set a woman on fire on the subway train. Because the Democrats. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was reminded of talking about Democrats setting women on fire on the subway train. But that reminds me that today is the funeral of Dick Cheney, former Vice President of the United States. Unrelated news. Funeral of Dick Cheney at the Washington National Cathedral here in Washington, D.C., the Cathedral of St. Peter and St. Paul. It's an Episcopal church. It's a great cathedral, one of the world's great cathedrals. It's wonderful, and the Dick Cheney funeral is taking place there today. George W. Bush will be there. Apparently, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance not going to be there. According to reports, not invited by the Cheney family, which wouldn't be completely surprising since Liz Cheney is expected to be there, and that can cause some hiccups along the way. But the funeral, and lots of people will be there, lots of people that you would recognize, including Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is going to be there. I wonder what she'll be wearing. Just kidding. I don't really wonder what I was just pretending to be a CNN anchor for a minute there because they're so ridiculous. But it's true that today in Washington, D.C., the Washington National Cathedral, the funeral for Richard B. Cheney, Dick Cheney, former Vice President, former Secretary of Defense, former White House Chief of Staff, former member of the House of Representatives, and Dick Cheney, very controversial figure, of course. Now, I attended the funeral of Ronald Reagan at the Washington National Cathedral, and that was quite a day, I got to say. That's where I talked to Prince Charles. He wasn't King Charles then, he was Prince Charles, and I enlightened him as to all kinds of things. I spoke to, who else did I speak to? Oh, Mikhail Gorbachev, talked to him. I made fun of that stain on his head. And then I spoke to Lech Walesa, the Polish great, I was going to say great American. He's a great American Polish guy. And that was great. Also, my best girl and I, we went to the George H.W. Bush funeral at the Washington National Cathedral as well. Today, the Richard B. Cheney funeral. I'm expecting minor riots outside, but the left will be out there firebombing and maybe self-immolating. It's hard to say. You're going to be, it's Dick Cheney. Maybe the lunatics of today, maybe they're too young to hate Dick Cheney. How old do you have to be a Democrat and hate Dick Cheney? They hate everybody. I guess you don't need a lot. So we've got a lot going. And in Texas, the governor there, Greg Abbott, good man,
looking into the creation of Sharia law Islamic courts in the state of Texas. And because he's a reasonable Republican, Governor Abbott, he's against them. He's against creating Sharia Islamic courts in America. The Democrats, they're not so sure. Big CBS story today. Was this guy fired by the FBI for being gay? That's kind of an interesting story. He says that he was. Others say that he was not. That's a fact. We got a story about gay sheep that I want to get to with you. And another Democrat fakes another attack. It's more Tawana Brawley than it is Juicy Smollett. But I'll get to that one too. Pretty crazy story here. Faking an attack, writing but carving things into the woman's flesh. Terrible Trump things carved into her flesh. But it may not be what it appears. And we're at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Platt. The Chris Platt Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. 95 Virginia still wet for rocking on volume between Dumfries and Prince William Parkway. That crash has been cleared to the shoulder. Once you get through there, wide open to the Beltway. 395 still slows across the 14th Street Bridge. Road crews are set up on the Beltway. Outer loop as you approach the American Legion Bridge. It's the left lane turned off. Jammed off at 270 in the Beltway leaving Bethesda. And 295 slows each direction to the inbound 11th Street Bridge. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Mostly cloudy skies, chilly again today. High 51, clouds overnight, low 42.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare's been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-BIBLE-11. That's 855-BIBLE-11. 855-BIBLE-11.
Look out, the flu monster could be anywhere. He could be right next to you on the bus, at the store, at the game, or in the conference room. Protect yourself with a flu shot. Appointments are open for ages 2 and older, or just walk in. KinneyDrugs.com.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $200 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins with promo code HEART in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Washington's best way to wake up. O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on WMAL.
What a world it is out there. All right, let us go to the telephones. And we're going to be updating on the news as it happens on this Thursday in America, such as things are. Let's go to Greg, calling from Rockville, Maryland. Gregory, you're on the Chris Plank Show.
Hey, Chris. Love the show. Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, I just wanted to say with Jeffrey Epstein, you made mention of it. No one really knows, I think, how this man who I don't think went to college, actually, didn't get it. Not that you need a college degree anymore, of course, but no one knows how he got seated. But what he was famous for, what he was consulted with, the reason he got rich and was well connected on Wall Street and in Democrat circles is that he basically sold people tax avoidance strategies. He was the master of getting money into shell companies, moving it to the Bermuda, moving it to the Virgin Islands, getting people, wealthy people, to lower their tax liability. And so it's interesting, these Democrats are all buddies with him and asking him for money to donate to their campaign while they want to raise taxes and redistribute our money. So it just shows you a lot of times the Democrats are just trying to redistribute money upwards. They don't really care about taxing the so-called rich because they are rich and they just want to take money from the middle class, redistribute it up to their friends, and then they extract campaign donations from them. He is a telltale sign of the corruption of our tax system. That's why he was so famous on Wall Street.
Well, it is. He is an amazing life story, a multi-billionaire and private jet, a private island, a micro penis, and all kinds of weird things going on with this guy. And it's didn't know anything about this, but my best girl and I last night went to the internet. It turns out it's an actual identifiable medical condition that he's suffering from. It might have compelled him to become as successful as possible and to stay away from adult women. Might have had something with him staying away from adult women. Isn't that amazing? It is. And sorry, go ahead.
Also, if you get a chance to look up the story, it just broke, I think, on Axios, that another Democrat corruption case in Congress. You'll see it. I think a woman's now been federally indicted in Florida, some Democrat from Florida, congresswoman, for taking FEMA money and lavishing it on herself.
$5 million she is accused of. She's been indicted now, stealing $5 million from FEMA, another Democrat. And as Democrats are really the party of crime. It's like if we only had the Corleone family instead of the Democrat Party, it'd be better. Honestly.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Virginia 95. Still watch for volume delays heading toward Woodridge. The crash that caused the delays near the Prince William Parkway has been to the right shoulder for quite some time. It's the residual delay. Beyond that, wide open to the Beltway. 395 still slows near Boundary Channel across the 14th Street Bridge, trying to shake the rush hour volume delays around the Beltway, but now the road work is set up out of loop as you approach the American Legion Bridge. The left lane is coned off and we're jammed to get through. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Mostly cloudy skies, chilly again today, high 51, clouds overnight, low 42.
Yuck, it's flu season, and the flu monster could be anywhere. He could be right next to you on the bus, or watching the play, in line at the store, cheering at the game, singing along at the concert, or blabbing away in the conference room. You just never know where the flu monster is hiding. Protect yourself with a flu shot. Appointments are now open for anyone age 2 or older, or just walk into your local Kinney Drugs. Learn more at KinneyDrugs.com.
With the state of today's economy, it is more important than ever to invest in products that last for years to come. As the seasons shift and get cooler, make sure your closet is stocked with durable layers that stand the test of time from American Giant. American Giant's clothes work harder and are wearable season after season. Their greatest hoodie ever made is made of the highest quality materials that are cut and sewn right here in the United States. So you're investing right back into your local community. Choosing American Giant means taking a stand for American manufacturing and hardworking Americans, something other mega corporations don't care about. From fleece to knit, all in a range of colors for versatile daily wear, American Giant delivers everyday pieces designed for everyday life. Feel the difference of quality made-to-last clothes from American Giant. Get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with code STAPLE20.
Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, bringing you an expanding library of education with even more ways to sharpen your trading skills. Access new online courses, insightful webcasts, articles, engaging videos, and more, all curated just for traders. Plus, guided learning paths with content designed to fit your unique interests. No sifting to find exactly what you need, so you can spend your time learning to trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
WMAL, making sense of social media because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
I tell you, the world just keeps on turning. things going on all over the place. I do have the good news about the cost of a Thanksgiving dinner, which every time I hear this, it sounds like, oh, it only costs $1.80 to feed a person at your Thanksgiving. It's not really $1.80, but it's like $6 or something. And really, that's less than a sandwich at Philly Mike's. That's not bad, I think, for Thanksgiving dinner, which is real good food. Real good food. And I do have the Epstein updates, and it's not limited to the micro penis, which is kind of interesting. In fact, during the break here, I was on the phone with my best girl during the break, and we were laughing, and she was laughing, and thankfully, and because she said, "Did you call for an update on the micro penis news?" And I said, "No, I didn't actually."
Shut the fuck up.
And thankfully, I'm happy to report moved on from there quite comfortably and easily. Pay no attention. But isn't that amazing? So I've got the updates there. And our wonderful caller just mentioned, Greg just mentioned, another crooked Democrat. And this is great. The left-wingers at Mediaite, which is not a real word. Democrat representative indicted for allegedly stealing $5 million in FEMA money, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Isn't that great? Representative Sheila Cherphillis McCormick, Democrat, Florida. Why does Florida have any Democrats? Was indicted by a federal grand jury on Wednesday for allegedly stealing $5 million in FEMA funds. She figured, hey, Nancy Pelosi would do it. How do you think Nancy, and she wants to invest it she follows online what Nancy Pelosi is investing in. I don't really know that she does, but she might if she wants to become very wealthy. Stealing $5 million in FEMA funds and using a substantial portion of the stolen money to fund her 2022 campaign to join the House of Representatives, which she did. So she stole a House seat by stealing $5 million. And the people at CNN will not notice this. They won't talk about this. The New York Times won't report the story. The Justice Department said Cherphillis McCormick and her family's healthcare company, her family has a healthcare company, received a $5 million overpay for a COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract in 2021. Rather than return the funds, the Democrat lawmaker, quote, routed it through multiple accounts to disguise its source, end quote. I'm not sure I'd know how to do that. Democrats are innately criminal, aren't they? They're kind of amazing. According to the Justice Department's announcement, she conspired with multiple people, including her older brother, Edwin Cherphillis, to pull off the scam. Cherphillis McCormick faces up to 53 years in prison if convicted. 53 years in prison. In D.C., you murder people, you get convicted, you get like 2.5 years. But 53 years, because it's FEMA, probably because it's FEMA money, very protective of who steals the money. Using disaster relief funds for self-enrichment is a particularly selfish, cynical crime. Attorney General Pamela Bondi said, no one is above the law. That funny little line that the Democrats liked to use in the past tense. Least of all, powerful people who rob taxpayers for personal gain. We will follow the facts in this case and deliver justice. That's what the Attorney General of the United States, Pamela Bondi, said about this. Cherphillis McCormick took the relief funds and gave some to her friends and to her relatives, who later donated the stolen money to her campaign, the indictment says. But this is normal Democrat Party stuff, isn't it? Isn't this just politics? She's going to say, I thought everybody did that. And she'd be half right, at least. Beyond funneling the money toward her campaign, lawmakers said she used the money for her personal benefit. Oh, I find that hard to believe. She is also alleged to have filed a false tax return. Now you're in real trouble. Along with her tax preparer, David K. Spencer. Now, her tax preparer gets famous now, too. David K. Spencer. Don't think you want to use him as your tax preparer.
which claimed political spending and other personal expenses as business deductions. The pair also inflated her donations to charity. This is just great stuff. The 46-year-old lawmaker, member of the House of Representatives from Florida, a Democrat, represented parts of West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale. You got to get the Democrats out of there, honestly. Democrats, if you're a registered Democrat, you shouldn't be allowed to vote or drive. And certainly you shouldn't be allowed to drive a big rig, 18-wheeler, get a commercial driver's license. Unless, of course, you're an illegal alien gang member, in which case the Democrats have your back. So isn't that great? She represents parts of West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale. The company she ran a company that received the bogus bucks was Trinity Healthcare Services, which describes itself as an innovative health organization on its website. They're an innovative health organization. They steal money from FEMA to stay afloat. That makes them innovative. You know how that is. NBC6 in Miami, the NBC station in Miami, as you might expect, reported that she filed a defamation lawsuit against her opponent, Dale Holness in 2022, after he accused her of embezzling funds. The $1 million lawsuit is currently listed as inactive. That seems appropriate, I think. Her indictment comes a week after California Governor Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff was arrested by the FBI and charged with a number of crimes, including conspiring to move and approximately $225,000 in funds from a dormant political campaign to an associate. Well, how do you think they all live in? All the political consultants live in $8 million houses on Embassy Row in Washington, D.C. How do you think they got that way? Isn't that amazing? And the Democrats, they had, the governor of the great state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, who inherited billions and billions of dollars from his forebears who actually worked for a living. And he was in Las Vegas, Nevada recently gambling. What was he playing? Blackjack? And he won, $1.4 million playing blackjack at a casino. Have you seen any of those gangster movies? Like Casino is one of them, right? And, Scorsese movie and things like, and they're very violent, and the gangsters and the criminals and the Godfather. They had the senator from Nevada with, in the bed and all that stuff. We live in a very corrupt era and a very corrupt country. Isn't that true? I think that's true. And the Democrats act as though it's all perfectly normal, just normal. Because what do you expect us to do, right? And I haven't gotten yet to we'll get to the FBI, not an agent, an FBI employee who was fired. And he says, they fired me because I was gay and I had my gay pride flag draped over my desk or something like that. And it's kind of funny because the administration had Rick Grinnell respond to the CBS News story claiming that he was fired because he's gay. Kind of an amusing thing. Yes, sir. All right, let us go. Yeah. Oh, look, we've got on the line another corrupt member of Congress, and it's true. It's crazy. Our Congress is crazy. Maybe we should have a free and fair press that holds their feet to the fire and exposes corruption. Boy, that'd make everything different, wouldn't it? All right, let's go back to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Charlie, calling from DeLand, Florida. Charlie, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Mr. Plant.
Yes,
happy
sir.
Thursday.
Happy.
So yesterday I was just flicking around on the internet, as George Bush would say, and I saw this live Nancy Mace feed, and my old representative Corey Mills, which I voted for, as a former Marine, I really take offense that his whole life story is a fraud. I can't believe that. And the Bronze Star that he supposedly got, he forged the signature because they asked the general that supposedly gave it to him. He never got that Bronze Star. He said that he was at Army Sniper School. That was a lie. He said that he saved some PFC Marine.
Now, kid, he's a Republican. He's a Republican member of the House from Florida, right? I just want to make that clear
Yes,
for people.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
I made a cut you off. Keep going.
Yes, and So they asked the PFC that he supposedly saved his life, and that never happened. And a lot of guys that he served with, even him being a Green Beret or something else that he claimed that he was, kind of frightening. And also, he was arrested in D.C. abusing, I guess, a girlfriend of his, and he's married. And down here in Florida, he also got, I guess he's being charged with domestic violence with another girlfriend that he has down here. So it's kind of disappointing. And like you said, they're all frauds. Very disappointing.
I think he's going to have to change party affiliations, and then he'll be funded and can go forward as a Democrat. What do you think?
Absolutely. George Soros would love to fund him.
Nancy Pelosi would campaign. You could get Barack Obama down there. It's too bad he's not a congressman of color. What would the abbreviation for that be, congressman of color? Just
and
kidding.
Maybe Brooklyn Barack.
Yeah, he got the Brooklyn Barack, right? Honestly, like Hakeem Jeffries, the Brooklyn Barack, as he was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein as the Brooklyn Barack. Isn't that amazing? I got to tell you, and what we had was this just yesterday. I think it was the House of Representatives yesterday blocks GOP Representative Nancy Mace's censure effort against fellow Republican Corey Mills. And this is the write up by CBS News of what you're describing here, Charlie, right?
And one more thing, Jeffrey Epstein, he brings to mind the old candy lemon heads.
Yes, because the headlines say that Jeffrey Epstein's male appendage apparently shaped like a lemon, which I don't know a lot about this, but as I understand it, is not what you shoot for, not what you're looking for. Is that right?
No, very disturbing. Yeah. Very disturbing. Shocking. I'm shook.
Yeah, absolutely. That is great. All right, Charlie, I'm glad you called in with this story because our Congress is wacky. And this guy, again, a Republican from Florida. And yesterday, the House blocked an effort to formally censure Republican Representative Corey Mills of Florida and strip him of his committee assignments over allegations related to federal contracting violations, stolen valor, and assault. Other than that, not much going on with Republican Congressman Corey Mills of Florida. GOP Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina introduced the censure resolution earlier Wednesday, citing troubling allegations against the congressman. Hey, they're just allegations. Now, she introduced the resolution as privileged, meaning GOP leadership had 2 legislative days to hold a floor vote on the measure. Corey Mills, successfully maneuvered to effectively kill the resolution by referring it to the House Ethics Committee. That's, I think, where things go to die, where ideas go to die. All the accusations and false things that are being said will be proven to be absolutely false in many ways. He said, I like the qualifier there. He says, it'll be proven to be absolutely false in many ways. In many ways, that's a qualifier there. Mills said, head of the vote, and I have the evidence and receipts. Everybody always has the receipts, don't they? The vote came hours after the Ethics Committee announced it is investigating Mills for alleged campaign finance violations, sexual misconduct, and other potential wrongdoing. Mace called the investigation a naked attempt to kill my resolution. Oh, he's killing everything around here. And naked. No, they got naked and kill right in there in the Nancy Mace thing. Mills has faced a number of controversies this year, including allegations that he threatened to release nude photos of a former girlfriend, which prompted a judge to grant a protective order in October. The censure resolution also cites reports that Mills was investigated for potential domestic violence in February. And as Charlie was just saying, I believe that's a separate instance and a separate woman. It sounds like he's not a very good married man. Being a married man has certain requirements. Mills has denied any wrongdoing and will not be charged with a crime. Okay. Corey Mills' alleged conduct makes him unfit to serve on any committee responsible for our national security, Nancy Mace said in a statement. I will not stand by while women risk everything to come forward with credible allegations of abuse and threats. I will not stay silent while a member of Congress may be lining his pockets through federal contracts, and I will not look the other way while allegations of stolen valor, a slap in the face of every veteran who earned their service and sacrifice, goes unchecked. See, that's so we got that going. And he's a Republican, and it sounds like he's a sharp-toothed weasel. No, he's not guilty. You know, he hasn't been proven guilty. He's innocent until proven guilty, and all that's true. But it sounds like he's in a bad place. Republican Congressman Mills. And what did he do? He came out. He was the only Republican to vote against. What did he? He voted against releasing the Epstein files. Is he the one that voted against releasing the Epstein files? Because this guy sounds like a piece of work. It's amazing the people we send to Congress. The Congress of the United States of America used to be a proud place. Not so much anymore. We remain at 888-630-9625.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Difficult trip heading through Buckland toward Gainesville. Serious three-car crash on northbound 29 has all traffic stopped before Bent Hill Road. I'm watching this with the traffic cameras. They're trying to get it into the median, but for about 30 minutes now, nobody has been moving. Southbound 29 after Bent Hill Road, left lane is blocked. No change in Bowie. 197 closed each direction between Racetrack Road and Rustic Hill Road. Crash brought down a pole and wires. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Mostly cloudy skies, chilly again today. High 51, clouds overnight, low 42.
Yuck, it's flu season. And the flu monster could be anywhere. He could be right next to you on the bus, or watching the play, in line at the store, cheering at the game, singing
Thinks
along
he's
at
the only
concert,
one who
or
works.
blabbing away
Thinks
in the
he's
conference
the only
room.
one who can
You just
barbecue.
never know where the flu monster is hiding. Protect yourself with a flu shot. Appointments are now open for anyone age 2 or older, or just walk into your local Kinney Drugs. Learn more at KinneyDrugs.com.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
What frightens you? Vampires? Mummies? The flu monster? Running out of Halloween candy? Step into Gimme Drugs for everything you need for tricks and treatments. With monster savings on candy, greeting cards, pumpkin carving kits, and don't forget the booze. Kimmy even has glitter lanterns and scary skeleton decor. So, on point, like my fangs, GimmyDrugs.com.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
WMAL, making sense of mainstream media because the double standard is real. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Well, more to come on the Corey Mills censure in the House, because Nancy Mace is not going to let it drop, and good for her. Sounds like he's got some issues. I don't care if he's a Republican or not. Let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Joe, calling from Little Rock, Arkansas. Joseph, you are on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, everybody.
That's great.
Yes, sir. I just, I was reminded when Dick Cheney died of something I heard years ago on the Rush Limbaugh show. And, you know, your Rush listeners will remember this, I'm sure. When Dick Cheney was chosen by the George W. Bush campaign as the VP candidate for his first run for president. And when the Sunday programs and all the newspapers, I guess, and all the mainstream media used the word gravitas, he would add gravitas to the ticket.
Uh-huh.
And so that when Bush, I guess, I don't know how he did this, but he noticed that for the first time, and that was the first time he used one of his montages that became so popular among his listeners, because they always brought evidence of the coordination of the mainstream media.
Right. And they all use the same words, and once one person uses a word like gravitas, which is not an everyday word, then all the media start using the same word. And I actually do not remember the Rush Limbaugh montage, but I can see Michael furiously working with his digits on the keyboard across from me, seeing if he can find it himself. But yeah, yet another example of the media being the lemming that they are and the centipede that they are, following each other. The head of the centipede is the New York Times, as a rule. I wonder if it was the New York Times who used gravitas. It was probably TV people. Do you recall, Joe?
I don't know. I do not recall who used it. I just remember Bush talked about it. And I'm sure he mentioned it in that program. whenever it was, sometime late in 2000, maybe, however long it was before the election. What if it was in 2000 or I was the election when W got elected?
Right. Yeah, that's right.
So it might have been late 1999, early 2000.
Well, and gravitas, I got to tell you, when I was covering the Pentagon, there was a funny moment when during a Pentagon briefing, one of many Pentagon briefings, and a reporter asked a question of the Pentagon spokesman, and he said, and he used the word gravitas, but he pronounced it gravitas. Gravitas.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. With the shutdown over, we're finally getting employment numbers for September. Job growth picked up.
The delayed September employment report found stronger than expected job growth. There were 119,000 new jobs created, more than double the 50,000 expected. The unemployment rate rose to 4.4%. However, the Fed does have other sources on the job market. The Wall Street Journal says Verizon is laying off more than 13,000 employees. The company is aggressively reducing costs and is working to reverse the trend of customer losses. Ginny Coselda, Fox News.
President Trump continuing his push for his plan to issue rebate checks worth $2,000 to most Americans, and he hopes to begin issuing those checks by the middle of next year, if Congress approves the idea. Texas Republican Congressman Jody Arrington, however, tells Fox News he doesn't agree with the idea of issuing those checks.
We have record revenue coming in from tariffs. That is helping our fiscal prospects. That's helping the economy, but it's also strengthening the health of America's balance sheet. What we ought to do is keep paying down the debt.
And he says if America is doing well, workers should get pay raises. The Baltimore Key Bridge rebuild numbers are skyrocketing, and Maryland's former governor warns that's going to hit Maryland residents hard in the pocketbook.
Nobody should be shocked because I'm not buying the new numbers either.
Former Maryland GOP Governor Bob Ehrlich tells WMAL's O'Connor and Company.
When the bridge went down, President Biden said, hey, we'll take care of it. And everybody just sat back and said, sure. And then we had an election.
Revised rebuild estimates for the Key Bridge now top $5 billion, and the timeline has been pushed out 2 more years to 2030. Ehrlich says that hurts the local economy.
So businesses and commerce.
Governor Westmore insists the initial bridge rebuild estimates were due before engineering studies were complete. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
The funeral of former Vice President Dick Cheney will be held today at the National Cathedral.
Cheney will receive full military honors at the memorial service. President Trump and Vice President Vance were not invited. More than 1,000 guests from across the aisle were invited to come, though, including all 4 living former vice presidents and former Presidents Joe Biden and George W. Bush. The crowd will also include Supreme Court justices and congressional leaders such as Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi. Cheney died on November 3rd at the age of 84.
7 News' John Rogers. A new deal for school resource officers in Loudoun County is raising some eyebrows.
They want to understand, and they don't want to have to go and look in 14 places to understand.
During a joint committee meeting this week, school board member April Chandler, one of several to bring up concerns and requests for clarity regarding an MOU on security personnel roles and training inside of schools. County Supervisor Julie Briskman a little more direct.
I would like to see some specific language in this MOU that states SROs will not work in coordination with any of that element that's working on mass deportation.
The county sheriff's office did offer it isn't bringing ICE into any schools or sharing information about students or families. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
2 Northern Virginia school systems will soon start using artificial intelligence to create tests and lesson plans for teachers.
OpenAI just rolled out a new pilot program, and it chose 16 school districts nationwide to take part in it, including Prince William and Fairfax County Public Schools. They'll have free access to ChatGPT for teachers until June of 2027. Teachers will get training on how to use the program. It can be used to streamline planning, and it's aimed at freeing up teachers so they can spend more time working with students.
7 News' Adam Longo. The Dow right now is up 666 points. NASDAQ's up 550. Traffic and weather next.
Did you know you can opt out of winter? With Vrbo, save up to $1,500 for booking a month-long stay. When thousands of sunny homes are waiting for you, why subject yourself to the cold? Put the snow shovel down, put the parka back in the closet, And don't you dare scrape another windshield. Slip into some flip-flops, consider a sunless tan, and use the monthly stays filter to save up to $1,500. Book your warm getaway at Vrbo.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare's been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-BIBLE-11. That's 855-BIBLE-11. 855-BIBLE-11.
Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
We head over to Gainesville, Virginia, where there was an accident northbound on Route 29 after Vint Hill Road. All lanes are closed right now with delays beginning near Old Alexandria Turnpike. Southbound at the scene of that incident near Vint Hill Road, one left lane is closed. You can get by those southbound. 95 northbound in Virginia, pretty slow still from Dale Boulevard up to the Prince William Parkway, where there was an earlier accident on the right shoulder. Beltway outer loop and delays from after Old Georgetown Road to the construction on the Virginia side of the Legion Bridge, blocking the left lane. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Mostly cloudy and cool today, upper 40s to middle 50s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies in the morning. Rain develops afternoon into the evening, 55 to 60 degrees. Morning showers give way to afternoon clearing on Saturday. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin in the First Alert Weather Center.
44 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Yeah, everybody talks about this place being a dadgum swamp. It's not a swamp. A swamp is something cool God created. It filters water. Animal life lives and flourishes around it. This is a sewer. This is created by man, and it needs to stop.
And it needs to stop. Well, I got it. Don't insult swamps by calling Washington, D.C. a swamp. That is Congressman Tim Burchett on the state of Washington, D.C. Kind of fun, I think. Republican member of Congress, and pretty good line, I've got to say. How dare you insult swamps by calling Washington, D.C. a swamp? A swamp is something kind of cool and beautiful that God created. This is a sewer. Yes, sir. Congressman Tim Burchett. And he might be onto something there, I've got to say. Pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. Well, very good and happy Thursday to you once again. We continue to be at 888-630-9625. Tim Burchett of Tennessee, of course, as any child of 6 can tell you. And we have a great many stories to share with you today because there are so many. And we've got, what is this? The latest update at the CDC having to do with vaccines and the menace, the dangers of vaccines. That's going on today in Washington and beyond. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, Georgia, again, as any child of 6 knows. But we have that going because this is kind of wackadoodle-doo. News Nation has the story. A Center for Disease Control and Prevention webpage has been revised, changing previous language that firmly stated vaccines do not cause autism. See, the website firmly stated vaccines do not cause autism. Now, because you got this Democrat in there, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose father was assassinated by Sirhan Sirhan in Los Angeles, California. And now the Democrats are closer on the political spectrum to Sirhan than they ever could be to Bobby Kennedy,
when these others
the senator.
quit using my
But never
mother's
mind that.
picture,
Back to the
I'll quit
CDC.
using yours.
The updated text breaks from the agency's longstanding position and suggests some studies have not fully ruled out a potential connection. The claim vaccines do not cause autism is not an evidence-based claim because studies have not ruled out the possibility that infant vaccines cause autism. The revised web page reads, adding that studies supporting a link have been ignored by health authorities. RFK Jr. has accused the American Medical Association of lying about vaccines and also about transgender youth. What are the Democrats? What is it with sex and children and Democrats? Keep them away from the kids. The change comes under the leadership of Health and Human Secretary, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose history of promoting vaccine skepticism drew questions during his Senate confirmation. Because Democrats don't want to question anything. They're anti-scientific. They don't know how many genders there are, and they don't want you questioning whether there are 130 genders or not. Senator Bill Cassidy, the Republican of Louisiana, is also a medical doctor, by the way, a physician, who was unsettled about Kennedy's anti-vaccine work, said Kennedy pledged he wouldn't change existing vaccine recommendations during his Senate confirmation process. Boy, it's amazing. The news media, they can latch onto things from the past if it's political in its nature. Just extraordinary. Senator Cassidy, Dr. Cassidy, also said Kennedy pledged the CDC would not remove statements on their website pointing out that vaccines do not cause autism, according to the Wall Street Journal. I got to tell you, politics, everything is politics. Politics. Goes all the way to the palace, Everything's about politics. Yes, sir. Just crazy. We've got crazy articles, crazy news stories for you today. And there's one out of New Jersey that is pretty wackadoodle-doo, having to do with the Democrats again. New Jersey Globe is the source on this. Ex-Van Drew staffer, this is Congressman Van Drew, who is Republican, but this is a crazy story. Ex-Van Drew staffer staged fake attack, writing, quote, Trump whore, end quote, across her stomach and alleging men held her down and cut her body, and they cut words into her body, and it turns out it's all fake, and called her a Trump whore. It's a crazy world out there, and politics is a wacky business. And here's a picture of the nice young lady, the ex-Van Drew staffer, staged fake attack, writing Trump whore across her stomach and alleging men held her down. Now, this is kind of Tawana Brawley. It's a little bit Tawana Brawley. It's a little bit Jesse Smollett. It's a little bit like 100 other fake staged hate crimes that weren't hate crimes. They weren't hate and they weren't crimes. They're just mental people. Natalie Green, charged today by U.S. attorney in bizarre hoax. Natalie Green is the young woman in question, a 26-year-old Ocean City woman who claimed she was brutally assaulted because she worked for Representative Jeff Van Drew, a Republican of Ocean City, instead orchestrated the entire incident. Sure. Now this is something I'd never heard of before, paying a scarification artist, I had to go over that word a couple of times because I had never seen the word scarification before, but apparently Democrats find scarring themselves a worthy hobby. Paying a scarification artist to wound her and staging the scene with the zip ties.
Went right through that, didn't you?
And Trump whore written on her stomach, and Van Drew is a racist carved into her back or written on her back by the scarification artist. federal prosecutors alleged today. That was yesterday, of course. Natalie Green, listen to this now. Rutgers University law student. She wants to be a lawyer. So how do you think they call them liars? So Natalie Green, a Rutgers law student, allegedly concocted the hoax in July with an accomplice. Sure. Making a late night 911 call to report that she had been ambushed by 3 men on a nature trail in Egg Harbor Township. Sounds like an illegal alien kind of case, doesn't it? But it gets crazier from there. Police officers found Green bound with black zip ties. Her shirt pulled over her head. And actually, you got to show the scarification artist's work, right? And the political slurs scrawled across her torso. She told police her supposed attackers had a gun and threatened to shoot her and struck her in the head. They struck her in the head and they said, fortunately, I mean, this is a mockable crime because none of it ever happened. None of it ever happened. But they called the Republican congressman a racist. They wrote it on her because they had to write it on her. Prosecutors say nearly every detail was fabricated. Wait a minute, how could every detail be fabricated? Isn't that crazy? Every detail was fabricated. Well, they said nearly. She was awake that day, but Green allegedly drove to Pennsylvania and paid a body modification artist $500 to carve the wounds into her face, neck, and upper body using a pattern she had provided in advance. Must be an art student before becoming a law student. Investigators later found matching zip ties in her Maserati SUV. She's a law student at Rutgers. She works for a member of Congress. She drives a Maserati SUV. I didn't even know Maserati made an SUV, but I'm sure it's a very nice car. Cell phone records showed that 2 days before the purported attack, her co-conspirators searched online for zip ties near me. Near me. You got to do the near me part because otherwise you wouldn't know where to find zip ties near me. And a discovery authorities cited as further proof that the incident was staged. She said one or more of her attackers held her down, cutting her and writing on her body. Several days later, after receiving medical treatment for her wounds, this is like a scene in Dirty Harry where the creepy killer hires somebody to beat him up so he can blame Dirty Harry for beating him up. Remember that? And he calls him a racial slur at the end to make sure he beats him up real good. Crazy stuff. So she received medical treatment for her wounds. Green was again asked to describe her alleged attack to law enforcement officers, including an agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Interviews of Green and the co-conspirator did not match. Oh, now you guys got to get your story straight, you know? Investigators used cell tower locations to obtain video footage and evidence that she went to a dollar store in Ventnor to purchase the zip ties. You got to look out for this stuff. You know, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Isn't that great? Just amazing stuff. Green appeared before U.S. Magistrate Judge Elizabeth Pastel earlier in the day and was charged with only one count, of conspiracy to convey false statements and hoaxes, and one count of making false statements to federal law enforcement, according to acting U.S. Attorney and Special Attorney Alina Habba. She is the acting U.S. Attorney and Special Attorney Alina Habba. And she is the acting U.S. Attorney because the Democrats are obstructing everything in the Senate and won't confirm President Trump's picks because they're third world tree dwellers, the Democrats are. She was released on a $200,000 unsecured bond. The complaint did not identify the federal official, but New Jersey Globe has confirmed that it was Van Drew, Republican Congressman Van Drew. The co-conspirator has not been identified. Sure, she began working part-time for Van Drew in 2022 and later served as his constituent advocate. She started law school last fall. I think she'll make a great lawyer for the Democrat Party. Isn't that great? A statement from Congressman Van Drew's congressional office said they were deeply saddened by today's news. While Natalie is no longer associated with the congressman's government office, our thoughts and prayers are with her and hope she's getting the care she needs, the Van Drew office said. That's a very polite and well-phrased way of saying she is a mental case. Law enforcement asked Green whether the words written on her were similar to those on postcards sent to Van Drew's South Jersey office. There's so many. I mean, yeah, racist. Windmills belong on your grave, like stupid. I mean, have such a bunch of little things that they're. So she's a crazy person. Constituent services. She got hate mail written to the Republican congressman, and then she decided to hire somebody in Pennsylvania to carve these things on her body. And I got to tell you, the pictures of her cut up shoulder and neck and things looks like this is really serious stuff. This is crazy. I couldn't even count the number of cuts here, dozens. And I'm talking like foot-long cut down the right arm from the shoulder down toward the elbow, and half, like 6-inch cuts, 8-inch cuts, 1 foot-long cuts on her neck, on the right chest, on her arm, cut up, and then crazy things written on her, like Van Drew's a racist. And she claimed she was grabbed by men and all this happened. She's just going to be on like Real Housewives of the Democrat Party or something crazy. Sad story. We'll call it a sad story. It's a sad, sad situation. Those are lyrics. I just threw some lyrics in there. You know that the all-new third-generation Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier has finally arrived, and the third generation builds on the incredible success of the previous 2 generations, which had already earned thousands of 5-star reviews on Al Gore's amazing internet. It became a bestseller in no time. The new Thunderstorm uses 2 technologies that studies have demonstrated help to kill up to 99.9% of bacteria and viruses like the Wuhan floating in the air in your home and your office that your family breathes. It also removes dust and pet dander and smoke and a whole lot more from the air. And it helps get rid of any odor, stinky odors. The Thunderstorm will help get rid of any stinky smell, guaranteed. Odors from kitty litter boxes, trash cans, cigarette smoke, liberals, musty basements, no match for the Eden Pure Thunderstorm. And the smells disappear in a matter of seconds. Right now, you can save $200 American on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for a whole home protection. You can put one in your basement, your family room, your teenager's room. Put it in a place you like to breathe clean, fresh air. All you have to do is go to EdenPureDeals.com and use the discount code CHRIS3, CHRIS, and the number 3 to save $200 on 3 Thunderstorms. They make great gifts, too. That's EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code is CHRIS3. Yes, sir. Great stuff. All right, so those are some crazy stories. That's for sure. I also have gay sheep coming up. I've got the story on gay sheep. That is coming up as well. And the gay guy that was working at the FBI, but he isn't anymore. I don't think that connects to the sheep, though.
There's only one Chris Platt. The Chris Platt Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-BIBLE-11. That's 855-BIBLE-11, 855-BIBLE-11.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
Just one bite of the deliciously comforting flavor of easy cooking Anchorage smoked sausage is enough to take you all the way home. It takes you back to Grandma's famous sausage casserole made in her favorite pan. Its naturally hardwood smoked taste sends you away to those summer days with Dad at the grill. Take a bite and see for yourself that home isn't just a place, it's a taste, and we think you'll like it here. Anchorage.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Celebrate this holiday season with Stella Rosa. Enjoy the sweet, refreshing taste of Stella Rosa Black with your favorite holiday dishes, from baked ham to apple pie. Cheers to good times. Must be 21 plus to celebrate.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 till 9 on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
The Democrats and the media, but I repeat myself, very angry. CDC in turmoil after agency backpedals on debunking vaccine autism link. Well, they basically say it hasn't been entirely disproven that there is any association. Let's grab a quick phone call. Let's go to James calling from Wilmore, Kentucky. James, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Well, thank you, brother. I know that you think with a pretty much biblical worldview, and so I thought I'd call up because it's always bugged me how we hear about these hoaxes, and yet for true social justice, we look at the Bible when Moses gave the instruction to form a civil society that would function. He says, people who bear false witness against their neighbors to cause certain legal punishments on them, when they are found to be lies, they must suffer the same penalty that they sought to bring on another. And yet we don't really hold up for true justice like that.
Well, that's true. There's no doubt about that. And we don't very, very often as a culture and a society follow biblical teachings, that's for sure. But this woman who is an employee of a Republican member of Congress, she's bearing a lot of false witness, isn't she, James?
Yes, it's sad, and it happens everywhere all the time.
It does. Yeah, we've been tracking it here on the radio show for a lot of years, and we've seen more examples than I can count of people with, fake swastikas that they drew themselves and fake nooses and the juicy smoolays. They love being the victim.
This is the Chris Plant Show. WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
From WMAL News at 10:30, I'm John Matthews. Employers added a surprisingly solid 119,000 jobs in September, issuing a key economic report that had been delayed 7 weeks by the federal shutdown. The Labor Department says the unemployment rate rose a tick to 4.4%. The stock market rallying after it seemed to successfully pass a couple of crucial tests. Not only did NVIDIA provide another blockbuster profit report, good news for AI, a mixed job report kept alive hopes for more cuts to interest rates by the Fed. The Dow is up 695 points. The funeral for former Vice President Dick Cheney getting underway soon at the National Cathedral. Neither President Trump nor Vice President Vance were invited, but all four other living vice presidents will be there, along with former President Joe Biden, and President George W. Bush will be speaking. Traffic and weather next.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store, where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Gainesville on Route 29 and 15 near Vint Hill Road, everything's opened in both directions right now. The accident that at one point blocked the northbound side of 29 has been cleared, and the left lane is now open southbound. 95 northbound after the Prince William Parkway, the accident on the right shoulder causing delays up from Dale Boulevard. Outer loop at the Beltway, very slow from after Old Georgetown Road to the construction near the Legion Bridge in the left lane, also causing delays on the 270 spur southbound from Democracy Boulevard onto the Beltway. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
More clouds today with a high of 51. It's 47 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Thumbtack presents Project Paralysis. I was cornered. Sweat gathered above my furrowed brow, and my mind was racing. I wondered who would be left standing when the droplets fell, me or the clogged sink. Drain cleaner and pipe snake clenched in my weary fist, I stepped toward the sink and then... Wait, why am I stressing? I have Thumbtack. I can easily search for a top-rated plumber, read reviews, and compare prices, all on the app. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Peace to the planet, Charlemagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins with promo code HEART in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through or per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
WMAL, making sense of the border, because laws either matter or they don't. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Yeah, just fucking it's fucking shit. It's fucking shit.
Now, I mentioned the RFK story, and the Democrats are very angry about this. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., of course, and the Washington Post headline, under RFK Jr., CDC promotes false vaccines autism link. See? And that's their headline. The CDC website now says health authorities ignored evidence of a potential connection between vaccines and autism, despite dozens of studies showing no link. That's the you know, when the Democrat Party turns on you, you can be a member of the Kennedy family, you can be RFK Jr., and the Washington Post will turn on you. Now, it's crazy. Axios, the left-wingers at Axios, CDC changes website to promote debunked vaccine autism link. They're all using exactly the same language. It's kind of like gravitas over here. Yeah, I was talking about this. I never followed up on that, did I? But the gravitas and the Rush Limbaugh, the gravitas, when the media starts using the word gravitas,
It's fucking ignorant.
they all use the same word over it. It's like a new word to them. And it did remind me when I was at the Pentagon covering the Pentagon long ago as a newsman during a White House briefing, a Pentagon briefing, a reporter in the Pentagon briefing room asked a question and he used the word gravitas, but he pronounced it gravitas. And forever, me and a couple of friends at the Pentagon would frequently use the word gravitas just to make fun of the poor reporter. He had obviously read the word, but hadn't heard anyone say it out loud. So he's talking about gravitas. And still, with a couple of friends, I still say gravitas, and we laugh because it was just a funny little moment in the Pentagon briefing. But it's true. And Rush Limbaugh, we went looking for the Rush Limbaugh montage, and the internet has not given us they've got links to it, but then it doesn't play. Never mind that. Let's go back to RFK for a second. The Centers for Disease Control, Axios writing now, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has updated its website to promote the widely debunked claim that vaccines may cause autism. The claim is that vaccines may cause autism, kind of a soft claim, isn't it? Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has repeatedly linked vaccines to autism, and now the public health agency he oversees is publicly reversing its position to reflect that belief. Multiple studies over decades have disproven links between childhood vaccines and developing autism. The agency's website on vaccines and autism, updated Wednesday, now says The statement that vaccines don't cause autism, quote, is not an evidence-based claim because studies have not ruled out the possibility that infant vaccines cause autism.
Yeah, slow me down, you
Supporting
motherfuckers.
A link that have been ignored by health authorities. The website continues. Studies supporting a link have been ignored by health authorities. Now, I'm not an expert on the subject, but I wouldn't rule out the possibility that people, they politicized everything. Medicine and vaccines and autism and children and genders and weather. Wow. They politicized absolutely everything. Now, with that said, I see a name on the big board of a person who is close to this that I want to talk to. Let's go to the telephones. Let's go to David calling from Clearwater, Florida. David, you're on the Chris Plank Show.
Hi there, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up today. I was telling the caller screener, my daughter has autism, and when we saw it happen, like within, days after she had her immunizations, right, when she was 2 years old, and so many other parents have observed this, and then she's 29 years old, and over the last, many years, the rate of autism is now 1 in 30 kids, and it's pretty incredible. So, we're hugely happy about, but sad in a way that it's taken many, many years for this whole, to chisel away this foundational view in public health that, vaccines don't cause autism. Now let's at least study it, Chris and the audience. Let's study it, and let parents understand it, the risks.
That's what science is, and you continue to ask questions, and we've had a lot of things in the last handful of years that were considered to be settled science, like how many genders are there. And then the Democrat Party says, no, there aren't 2 genders, there are 120 genders. And we know that to be false. And then they yell at you that they're the party of science when they show that they're the party of science fiction. And David, I saw what Jeff had put up on the screen and said, not enough proof to show if vaccines do or do not cause autism, is what you said to Jeff, right? And
sir.
And you say you saw your daughter being vaccinated at the age of 2, and she's 29 years old now, and you saw a change almost immediately shortly after being vaccinated as a 2-year-old.
Yes, sir. What it was is, I'm going to probably start crying, so I don't really want to, but basically, my chubby, sweet, fatty little girl hugging me and talking, lost all of her speech, got wasted, physically wasted. And it looked like she was deaf, and within a month, she completely changed. And I can tell you, Chris, that so many parents have seen this, and it's been denied, and if you ever look into this, pediatricians are trained to tell parents, this is in your head, this is not true, and things of that sort, deny. And let's study it. I can tell you, Chris, every day, 275 kids will be diagnosed, and 100 of them will have severe autism, like my daughter. They'll never drive, they'll never hold a job. They have to have 24/7 care. My daughter has chronic pain all the time. She doesn't speak. It's incredibly challenging, her life. And I say to myself, I was just doing what I'm supposed to as a good parent, vaccinating my kid.
Right.
And we never knew anything about anything like this 30 years ago, Chris. No one even uttered the thought of it. And now that I see it, in such a distant span, all of this heavy amount of fortifying the basis, all of these newspapers like the Post and Times, constantly attacking anything that we ever say or RFK ever brings up, or the current administration about studying these things, and how immediately they go on the attack mode. It's just so horrible about the fact that they don't care about us. They don't care about kids.
Well, you're right that they don't care about kids. They call exterminating 1 million a year choice, and they harvest their organs. And honestly, Dr. Mengele would be proud of the Democrat Party today. And listen, David, I'm very happy that you called in. I'd like to ask you to hold on for just a moment and listen to this, because this morning on MS-13 DNC, they had on the morning joke show a person who is a medical doctor named Dr. Vin Gupta. As far as we know, no relation to Dr. Sanjay Gupta, but Dr. Vin Gupta was on a pulmonologist on MSDNC this morning, and they asked him, because now you got to attack the Trump administration, the Trump Health Department, you got to attack RFK Jr. because he stopped singing from the Democrat Party sheet music, so he must be destroyed. But this was the exchange with Willie Geist and Dr. Vin Gupta on Morning Joke this morning on this topic.
What's the impact of the CDC now officially putting this out?
And that's unfortunate, but I think ultimately what this means for all of us is that we can't trust the CDC anymore. They are not a scientific or public health authority.
Wow, that's kind of stopped me in my tracks. We cannot trust the CDC anymore.
Stop me in my tracks. There he is, and I looked up this Dr. Vin Gupta, and he naturally is all Ivy League, went to Princeton University for his undergrad and went to...
Oh, you fucking cocksuckers. Now what? Oh, all kinds of fucking wrenches. The fuck is wrong with these people?
Considered revered as in this position. And he's no way at all, quote, anti-vaxxer, and he defends vaccines to the hilt. But he's been under oath, and in testimony, he's admitted to the fact this has been known for many, many years, Chris, in the audience, that there is no objective, strong data to support this. Right. But it's just in a talking point parroted by public health officials, and they just will never relinquish. They just won't. And he's a strong man, RFK Jr., and his staff and his people, Dr. Particelli, he's very strong, and they're really going to try to help our families.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's if it's a scientific question, has it been proven or disproven one way or the other? And I just looked up Dr. Plotkin, and he's actually 93 years old now. 93 years old.
Wow.
And he has been a leading authority, or the authority on virology and vaccines for a very long time. He is a virologist, an MD, a physician, and a virologist, and widely recognized as a pioneer in vaccine development, 93 years old. And you're saying, David, that he's leaving the door open to the possibility that vaccines can be problematic. And based on your personal experience with your then 2-year-old daughter, now 29-year-old daughter, you're convinced that the vaccine did have something to do, at least, with your daughter finding herself autistic.
Yes, sir. Just that, what other product causes such a rapid decline, and how does a normal kid turn autistic in front of your eyes within weeks? How does that happen?
Right.
This is called regressive autism. It's a new phenomenon, right? This is not how healthy kids are supposed to be.
Right.
You're not supposed to lose skills. These kids magically acquire skills. The worst parents in the world can have a kid, and they're brilliantly beautiful children that are chatting, and they could, sit in front of the TV all day and do, but how can a kid, regress like that? There's just it needs to be looked at. We have to come to an understanding. We can't sell out our nation's children. We can't have this happen. So it's my firm belief that vaccines caused my daughter to lose all those skills and basically, shatter her life. Yesterday she told me that she uses a letterboard to talk, Chris. We were able to access her ability to speak, and she's a brilliant young woman. I could send you a few of the books that she's written. She's a brilliant girl, but yesterday she was upset. Thank you, Chris. Yesterday she was upset, and she was watching a show with one of her aides on, a guy and a girl like courting. And she said, "Dad, I'm so upset that my autism won't let me have a relationship and have a boyfriend. I'm so sad about that." And, it was heartbreaking to hear that. And this is like many of the children out there, they're very cogent, smart kids, really great kids. I've known many, dozens and dozens of non-speaking autistic young adults, and they all want things in life, just like anyone's kid. They want a career. They want to do things. And they're they struggle so with this. And it's a disease that needs to be evaluated. And if vaccines, I believe, Chris, this is my opinion, that there are certain groups of children that may have genetically, they're more vulnerable to the impact of vaccines than other kids. That's why, and it's a very vigorous vaccine schedule, Chris. Your audience can look into it. I believe there's approximately 16 vaccines that are recommended to be given to your kid before 18, and before 2 years old, I believe it's approximately in the mid-20s. Vaccines are
absolutely crazy. And David, I'm very happy that you called in. I'm sorry to put you through this, but I'm very happy that you did. And I know that a lot of people listening to you are going to have their eyes open and start asking questions because of what you've described here today. And the reality is, if it hasn't been
It'd probably be more
disproven,
expensive.
then and all the headlines say, "Oh, that's been debunked." Right. Like so many other things in the last 5 years that have been debunked or not. David, God bless you, and your wonderful daughter too. I'm very happy that you called in. I'm very sad to hear your story. And God bless you. God bless you.
Appreciate it. Don't be great. You're welcome.
When Mary, the Virgin Mary, said, "Let it be done."
Your furnace working
according
okay?
to your word. Yeah. She embraced God's plan, and even with uncertainty, risk, and sacrifice, her yes brought Jesus into the world. And today, countless mothers across the United States of America face that same moment of decision when they see their baby on an ultrasound. They may be scared, they may be unsure, but it's their moment to say yes, and that moment could pass. But you can make a difference right now. Because of the generosity of listeners like you, people like you, Preborn's network of clinics across the United States can help provide immediate support, helping thousands of mothers embrace life. And over 380,000 babies have already been rescued thanks to Preborn, showing young mothers their baby on an ultrasound. This holiday season, don't let another life be lost. Be the hope for hurting mothers, for mothers in need, and for babies at risk. Just say yes to life today. To donate securely, all you have to do is dial pound 250. When prompted, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250. The keyword is baby. You can go online to preborn.com/plant. That's me, preborn.com/PLANTE. Every gift is tax deductible, of course, and it impacts eternity. That's all. Remarkable stuff. And David, a very powerful contribution. I'm grateful that you called in. The media attacking RFK Jr. for changing language doesn't say much. Just says that it hasn't been proven irrevocably, one way or the other, whether vaccines affect the incidence of autism. But our number of vaccines increased, and our number of autistic children increased too. A coincidence? Maybe.
Since the first ADP report in 1990, autism has increased by a factor of 480%.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Did you know you can opt out of winter? With Vrbo, save up to $1,500 for booking a month-long stay. When thousands of sunny homes are waiting for you. Why subject yourself to the cold? Put the snow shovel down, put the parka back in the closet, and don't you dare scrape another windshield. Slip into some flip-flops, consider a sunless tan, and use the monthly stays filter to save up to $1,500. Book your warm getaway at Vrbo.com.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, season, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meter beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest.
You can smell my little heat.
Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Look out, the flu monster could be anywhere. He could be right next to you on the bus, at the store, at the game, or in the conference room. Protect yourself with a flu shot. Appointments are open for ages 2 and older, or just walk in at SkinnyDrugs.com. It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader and out of Washington Street, or online at WidgetAutoSales.com.
If you or a loved one have missing or damaged teeth or suffer from severe gum disease, then you need to know about Cascades One Dental, where they have created Arch One, a full arch dental implant system designed to give you a beautiful looking real smile. Arch One is an innovative all-in-one approach to full mouth dental implants with life-changing results, designed around the power of one doctor, one office, one price. And that means you will receive continuous care from one doctor in one location with one all-inclusive cost, performed by renowned doctors located in Northern Virginia at Cascades One's state-of-the-art facility, using advanced technology to give you new teeth in just one day. Dr. R and the Arch One team have completed thousands of successful Arch One full arch implant procedures. Discover the power of a beautiful smile and begin your Arch One transformation today. Financing options are available. To schedule your consultation, call 844-ARCH-1 or visit arch1implants.com.
A t-shirt and jeans, mac and cheese, oceans and sunsets. Some things in life are an obvious match, like RIAs and Schwab Advisor Services, the #1 choice for independent advisors looking for a custodian who can help them go further. With all the wealth services, technology, and support an RIA firm needs, the difference is so obvious, it's Schwabious. Find your match and learn why custody is just the beginning at schwabious.com.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
WMAL, making sense of party politics because somebody's got to hold their feet to the fire. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Well, that was a very powerful and potent phone call from David in Clearwater, Florida. An extraordinary story. His family and his daughter. And the Democrats are not the party of science. They're the party of anti-science. They politicize all science all the time. They're not reliable. They can't be depended on. And I've got the story of the wool of the gay sheep. The wool of the gay sheep.
When they quit using my mother's picture, I will quit using
It's a
this
grinder
picture.
story. It's a Democrat story.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
Until then, I'm going to use this account and the other ones I've
I'm
made.
John Matthews. The Justice Department now has 30 days to release the Epstein files.
This is part of the act that the president signed into law. Now, Bondi says she'll cooperate where the law allows.
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
The Attorney General recently ordered a new Epstein investigation late last week into Democratic ties with the disgraced pedophile at the president's urging. But Bondi wouldn't say what kind of information, meaning that investigation in New York could delay some of the release, given that this is an active probe. It's unclear if DOJ will use this to delay.
Fox News' David Spunt. A Democratic congresswoman has been indicted by a grand jury in Florida, accused of stealing millions of dollars in disaster relief funds to make illegal campaign contributions.
The Justice Department charging 46-year-old Representative Sheila Sherpalis McCormick of stealing disaster funds meant to help with COVID vaccinations, then laundering the money so she could run for Congress. Her brother, a political operative, and an accountant are also facing charges. The Attorney General says the Congresswoman conspired to steal $5 million, then tried to hide the money through multiple accounts to disguise its source. Sherpalis McCormick is denying the charges, writing, "This is an unjust, baseless sham indictment, and I am innocent. From day one, I have cooperated with every lawful request, and I will continue to do so."
Fox News' Mark Meredith. Some 300 members of the Indiana National Guard are being mobilized to spend the winter in D.C.
They're expected to arrive next month. Governor Mike Braun says the D.C. National Guard requested the help for its D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force. Recent data show more than 1,200 guardsmen from other states are already in the district. On top of the more than 900 local members of the National Guard, the guardsmen will be here no longer than 4 months.
7 News' Adriana Hopkins. The Indiana Guardsmen will replace members from 7 states in the district. Maryland facing another year of belt tightening with a projected $1 billion-plus deficit.
It's a relentless stream of bad budget news. It's constant.
Former Maryland Governor Republican Bob Ehrlich blames the Democrat supermajority in Annapolis, warning residents will pay the price.
So we're looking at yet another stream of tax increases. It's the way it is. And many Marylanders just yawn. It's the way that they're used to it. They're conditioned to it.
Ehrlich telling WMAL's O'Connor and Company the latest deficit projections on the heels of last year's $3.3 billion deficit.
New budget projections, 1.4 in the short term.
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
A new agreement for school resource officers in Loudoun County is getting some pushback.
I find the redlining and the changes in the MOU wholly unsatisfactory.
County Supervisor Julie Briskman, part of the joint committee meeting, offering feedback on the MOU.
I think that we need to have more shall do language rather than language that says as appropriate.
Training for the SRO is also a sticking point, as some worried there wasn't enough in the memo. Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Sawyer with the County Sheriff's Office.
The removal of those lines of training is not reducing the training that our SROs get at all.
Up next, the memo will head to the full school board for more consideration. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
The Dow is up 533 points. NASDAQ's up 411. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
You
into real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
WMAL traffic and weather. Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
I'll head over to Bowie, Maryland, where Route 197 is closed in both directions between Rockledge Drive and Rustic Hill Road because of an accident that took down a utility pole and the wires into the roadway. That is 197 blocked both ways near Rockledge Drive because of the ongoing cleanup there. Beltway outer loop very slow from the 270 spur to the construction near the George Washington Parkway, blocking the left lane. The outer loop before that is also slow now between New Hampshire Avenue and University Boulevard. Mobile work crew in the right lane. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Mostly cloudy and cool today, upper 40s to middle 50s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies in the morning. Rain develops afternoon into the evening, 55 to 60 degrees. Morning showers give way to afternoon clearing on Saturday. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin in the First Alert Weather Center.
47 degrees right now at Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9
Billy Hayden doesn't
WMAL.
really care if Dougie's people do not go to his chat.
Worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Yes. Well, I've got some good news. We found the Rush Limbaugh montage of the word gravitas in the news media. So, see, we're working for you. That's what we're doing. We're on Team America. On the side of truth, justice, and the American way. That's a fact. Now, we had a doctor call in, a medical doctor. He self-identified as medical doctor. Called in and spoke to Jeff and said, Chris is weaving fantasies in there that you can't develop autism in a matter of days after being vaccinated. And he was invited to go on the air and talk about it, but he opted not to, which is fine. We do free speech, and that means you don't have to, right? But you're welcome to. That's the kind of people we are. That's what we do. All right, now there's a lot of other stuff to get to too, and yeah, MSNBC, they're attacking RFK Jr. I'm sure CNN is attacking RFK Jr. I know the Washington Post is attacking RFK Jr. because he had the gall, the chutzpah to change a line. And how do these people find that a line had changed on a health department website, an HHS website. How could they possibly have realized that? And then they all find out at the same time, and they all have the same opinion at the same time as well. And they turn it into international fake news. RFK Jr. updates CDC website to link vaccines to autism, despite years of agency fighting misinformation. Well, you seem to be implying or suggesting that it's misinformation to raise this question. The website now states studies supporting a link have been ignored by health authorities. Well, have they? Because media people just take whatever the government tells them and they parrot whatever the government tells them. And they're very upset about this, very upset. New guidance, which caught many in the agency off guard, reflects the views of Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic. They used to call him a denier or something. I think they changed that to skeptic. But the website said that studies have found no link between developing autism and vaccination or specific ingredients in inoculations. But now the site states that studies supporting a link have been ignored by health authorities. Well, have they? They claim that vaccines do not cause autism is not an evidence-based claim because studies have not ruled out the possibility that infant vaccines cause autism. I'm not an immunologist or a vaccinologist, but I'd like to think that these things have been examined thoroughly and completely. I think we have a great deal of data on the subject because over the course of decades, or period, as Joe Biden might say, were there an ellipsis in the teleprompter? All right, Michael, let's go to Pamela Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States of America, because now you see the House and the Senate have passed with a ridiculously named bill about releasing the Epstein documents, like Jeffrey Epstein Transparency Act of 2025. It's taken decades to get here, but never mind that. And the Attorney General yesterday, Pam Bondi, soundbite number 1 on our cut sheet today, as a matter of fact. And she's talking about handing over because, now that the Congress has voted in the House and the Senate on this bill to release the Epstein documents, now it's apparently in the hands of the Justice Department. You may remember Pam Bondi, when she was brand new in the Justice Department as Attorney General, said, we're going to release the Epstein documents, lickety-split. And then that didn't happen, lickety-split. And now Congress had to pass an act that they made up with a ridiculous name. I'm surprised it's not an acronym. But Pamela Bondi yesterday saying, hey, we've released lots and lots of documents. And, the Democrats have already had plenty of opportunity to comb through the documents and do their word search for the name Trump so they can find whatever sinister, incriminating information they would like to use. And they haven't released any smoking gun, any bombshell from the 23,000 documents insinuating or even suggesting that Donald Trump had done anything terrible. And they did redact the name of the lady who was one of the Epstein victims as a young girl. And she died apparently by suicide a few years ago. But she came out and said, Trump never had anything to do with any of this. And the Democrats left that out when they were leaking documents to the New York Times from their congressional investigation. But let's go to the Attorney General, Pamela Bondi, yesterday on the documents been released. And as I said yesterday, they now have 30 days at the Justice Department, now that Congress has passed the bill, which shouldn't have had to have been done at all. They have 30 days at the Justice Department to release the remaining documents. And they've already said out loud, the Speaker of the House has, there are names in there that need to be redacted. So there are going to be redactions from the documents when and if they're released in 30 days. And again, it's going to kind of stink to high heaven. But here's the Attorney General, Pam Bondi.
We have released over 33,000 Epstein documents to the Hill, and we'll continue to follow the law and to have maximum transparency. Also, we will always encourage all victims to come forward.
which sounds like a good idea. I'm in favor of that. I've got to say, didn't Hillary Clinton destroy 33,000 emails and have her staff pound their phones with hammers and smash the hard drives? And that was 33,000 documents, wasn't it? It sounds like a lot when you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein documents. But when Hillary Clinton destroyed 33,000, presumably entirely classified documents, isn't that amazing? So 33,000 documents and maximum transparency. That word transparency is used a lot in Washington. Sometimes they seem to know what the word means. And encourage all victims to come forward. It's been years and years and years, and millions of dollars have been dispersed to victims, and none of the parents have come forward, except one father on Capitol Hill day before yesterday. We played the audio for you yesterday. Never mind that. Kamala Harris, former vice president. In fact, she's at the National Cathedral right now where the Dick Cheney funeral is taking place, and there have been some funny moments. Joe Biden and not a Dr. Jill Biden are sitting next to George W. Bush and his loving bride as well, who's a very nice person. And sitting next to them, who's sitting? It might be Kamala sitting there, right? And Mike Pence is sitting there. And George Bush had Al Gore was sitting behind him. Remember Gore versus Bush? It was a Supreme Court case. And Al Gore sitting right behind George W. Bush. And George W. Bush was turning around and leaning back and telling jokes and laughing. And Al Gore wasn't laughing so much, but W. Bush was laughing because he's always having a good time. And he was laughing. And I think he was probably saying, isn't it funny that I was president and you weren't? Remember that dangling Chad thing? That was funny, wasn't it? Yeah, you guys brought the Supreme Court and you still lost. You guys, and then Hillary lost. Hey, where's Hillary? She lost. That's great. But Kamala Harris, she lost, and to Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump too. The only two women ever to run on major party ticket, both lost to Donald Trump. That's just fun. Kamala Harris doing another lame podcast with another wanker from the Democrat.
Hillary Clinton lost twice to a man. First to Obama.
Current president's statements most recently about this are another example of him attempting to gaslight the American people. And I say that because all of a sudden he's saying he'll wait to see what Congress does. Since when?
Why you say
release the files? Release the files.
And the wanker podcaster doesn't say, well, may I pause for a moment and point out that you were vice president for 4 years and you didn't say a word about releasing the files. And Joe Biden was president for 4 years and he didn't say a word about releasing the files. And the Biden-Harris Justice Department, which was the most corrupt in the history of the country, had possession, custody of all of the files for 4 years and didn't release the files. Nobody says that because they're not journalists. They're fluffers for the Democrat Party. Aren't they amazing? Now, CNN, they got this woman, Pamela Brown, and they're talking about Stacey Plaskett, the Democrat non-voting delegate from the U.S. Virgin Islands, who is technically a member of Congress, yet a non-voting member. And talking about Stacey Plaskett, who is taking her marching orders directly from Jeffrey Epstein by text message to her personal phone from Jeffrey Epstein's personal phone. And, that's where Pedophile Island is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And she's like, oh, he's a constituent of mine. Yeah, well, he actually lived in New York and then 6 months plus 1 day in Palm Beach, Florida for tax reasons. And then he owned, Child Rape Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And she says, oh, he's a constituent of mine, right? Stacey Plaskett on CNN with Pamela Brown.
Why were you even texting with Epstein at the time? He was a known sex offender then.
Sure.
Sure.
I explain to people,
Sure.
I've been a prosecutor for many years.
Irrelevant.
And there are a lot of people who have information that are not your friends.
Information.
That you use to get information to get at the truth. This was 7 years ago.
What were you trying to get at?
People need to understand this was a huge hearing that was taking place with Michael Cohen.
Huge hearing. It was taking place with Michael Cohen, Trump's former disgraced lawyer, Michael Cohen. Now, wait a minute. Now, the idiot anchor is sitting there saying, well, I don't know what any of that has to do with anything, or at least that's what she should be saying. And wait, you were what? A lot of people have, you were a prosecutor and a lot of people have a lot of information. You were pumping him for information? What, you were during a hearing? No, you were taking text messages from him and reading them aloud in the hearing room. He might as well have been in your brain or been your brain, because he was speaking for you. You were parroting everything that Jeffrey Epstein texted you. You weren't quizzing him on some ongoing crime. He was already a convicted sex offender and a well-known notorious sex offender. And CNN continued, but not with the appropriate follow-ups, of course, Pamela Brown and Stacey Plaskett.
Yes or no, if Epstein had not brought up Rona to you in that text, would you have asked Michael Cohen about her independently?
Yes or no?
Probably not. I asked about 3 other individuals as well. Everyone
Were they in the
knew,
hearing?
other people knew that this woman had been the president's assistant.
The president's Rona was that was Jeffrey Epstein's assistant, Rona. And again, the news anchor doesn't follow the news because she doesn't know what follow-ups to ask Pamela Brown. It continued to the eternal embarrassment of both of them.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth.
What? What?
Having a friendship with
The
him
truth of what?
is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do, is move forward. If individuals are not involved in illegal activity,
they are.
So extent what people are doing moving forward.
What? None of that makes any sense at all. Pamela Brown, CNN, thanker.
Wait, let me just better understand that. What is that? Because at the time he was a known sex offender and it had been detailed all the sexual abuse.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes. And as a prosecutor, you get information from people where you can. I've interviewed confidential informants. I've interviewed narcotics, drug traffickers.
That's not important.
And others. And that doesn't mean that I'm their friend. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that they are friendly with me. It means that they have information that I need and that I'm trying to get at the truth. And that's what I did.
So no regrets, basically, is what you're saying.
I'm moving forward.
I'm moving, but the catchphrase is I'm moving forward, moving forward. They are truly astonishing criminals. They're corrupt. They are dishonest. You don't marry any of these people. They will cheat on you. They will disgrace you. They will bring home monkeypox. These are the most ridiculous of people. And the anchor woman is an embarrassment to journalism, and that's pretty hard, pretty hard. So anyway, what is that? It's got nothing to do with other criminals and whether you were a prosecutor. You were taking text messages directly from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, who has a child rape island where you're the non-voting delegate in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And, oh, no, we're not friends. You were just laughing and taking his text messages and quoting during you weren't pumping him for him. You weren't uncovering crimes. You were engaged in covering up crimes and trying to lynch Trump is what was going on. But Pamela Brown, just a dummy, not smart people. And I got to say, I love this, a 6A. This is just amazing. This is what she said.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes. That reminded us of Ilhan Omar describing September 11th, 2001.
Some people did something.
Right, exactly. Some people did something, and a lot of people have committed a lot of crimes. The Democrats. From holiday hosting to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. And right now, during their Sizzle All the Way sale, see Christmas theme, you get 50% off the entire website at omahasteaks.com. Plus, because we hang out together, you get an extra $35 off with the promo code PLANT at checkout. Listen, I've told you before, my best girl and I, we love the filet mignons from Omaha Steaks. We cook them up in my grandfather's antique iron skillet. Just wonderful, delicious. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety. Every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and then hand cut by master butchers in America's heartland. They also carry mouth-watering burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, and they have great desserts too. Right now, you can save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Just visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off, half off the entire website during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for another $35 off, use the promo code PLANT at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com. The promo code is PLANT. Terms apply. See the site for details. Yes, sir. Yeah. A lot of people have committed a lot of crimes. Yeah, I think you might be among them, lady.
There are a lot of people who have done a lot of crimes.
Some people did something.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader and out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
Save over $200 when you book weekly stays with Verbo. This winter, if you need to work, why not work from a chalet? If you haven't seen your college besties since, well, college, you need to fully catch up in a snowy cabin. And if you have to stay in a remote place with your in-laws, you should save over $200 a week. That's the least we can do. So, you might as well start digging out the long johns, because saving over $200 on a week-long snowcation rental is in the cards. Book now at Verbo.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/day. See representative for warranty details.
Looking to earn passive income? Well, now's the perfect time to rent out your property. With high demand and rising rental rates, you can profit greatly. You know who can make this easy for you? Renters Warehouse DC Nova, because they do all the work for you. Renters Warehouse specializes in hassle-free property management for rentals, and they're local experts in housing laws across Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. to keep your rental compliant, protected, and profitable. From finding you the right tenant, rent collection, handling maintenance work, or any late-night phone calls, Renters Warehouse does it all. You just collect the checks. If you have a home or portfolio of homes to rent, or if you've inherited a home, or you're a military family on the move, find out how much your property will rent for with a free rental analysis from Renters Warehouse DC Nova. Call 571-517-1525, 571-517-1525, or visit rwdcnova.com, rwdcnova.com.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $200 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
Living with uncontrolled moderate to severe ulcerative colitis can be like going on a blind date with a werewolf.
Are you okay?
No,
Is it the veal?
Are you wondering when your UC symptoms will pop up next? Prescription Velsipity, or etrasimod, is one pill once a day for adults with moderate to severe UC that can help calm the chaos of UC symptoms of rectal bleeding and frequent bathroom visits. Velsipity quickly treats flares, with some seeing remission by week 12. It provides a chance for lasting steroid-free remission at 1 year. Don't take Velsipity if you've had a heart attack, chest pain, stroke, or mini-stroke, heart failure in the last 6 months, irregular irregular or abnormal heartbeat. It may cause serious side effects like fatal infections, slow heart rate, liver problems, increased blood pressure, a vision problem called macular edema, certain types of skin cancer, swelling and narrowing of brain's blood vessels, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant or plan to be. Use birth control during and for 7 days after treatment.
Sorry about that. Oh, look, they have flan.
Ask your doctor about once daily oral Velsipity.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
That's right, it's Gravitas. I've still got a lot, but I do love that there. A lot of people have done a lot of things, and this woman, she just lies with great ease, and you go on CNN and they're not smart enough to nail you on anything, just completely ridiculous. Hey, I've got Jasmine Crockett coming up, speaking of Gravitas. She's got Gravitas, doesn't she? A lot of gravitas on her extraordinary stuff. And I absolutely must get to the Grinder put on a fashion show featuring the wool of gay sheep. Seriously, this really happened. They got gay sheep. They've got fashion. I'll explain.
This is the Chris Plant Show. WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington, Cumulus Media Station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 11:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Happening now, mourners are gathering at the National Cathedral to pay their respects to the late Vice President Dick Cheney. In attendance, former Presidents Joe Biden and George W. Bush, who will deliver the eulogy. President Trump not invited. Cheney's daughter, former Congresswoman and Trump critic Liz Cheney, will join Mr. Bush in addressing the crowd. September's jobs numbers are out, and they're solid. U.S. employers added 119,000 jobs in September, according to the government, which issued a key economic report that had been delayed 7 weeks by the federal government shutdown. The Labor Department also said the unemployment rate rose 4.4% rose to 4.4% rather from 4.3% in August. Traffic and weather next.
This report is sponsored by Thundercat Technology. AI is transforming fraud detection within our government. Join Thundercat and SAS on December 4th to learn how to apply the right AI tools to your agency's challenges. Register now at fedinsider.com.
Here's Steve Hirschhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Outer loop at the Beltway, very heavy and slow after 95 in College Park. The mobile work crew is in the right lane after New Hampshire Avenue before University Boulevard as they gradually move westbound on the outer loop at the Beltway. Inner looping delays from the Dulles Toll Road up to the Clare Barton Parkway across the Legion Bridge with the left lane closed. On the outer loop, you'll be in a delay from the 270 spur to the construction on the Virginia side of the outer loop, blocking the left lane. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Today, mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 50s. Tonight, cloudy with a low around 42. Right now, 45 degrees in Herndon, 47 in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/day. See representative for warranty details.
We invite you to come get a Bermuda perspective this summer. Get a new perspective on sightseeing, on secluded beaches and hidden coves. Get a new take on what's going on at our Cup Match Cricket Classic. And explore what's for dinner from our point of view, with multicultural delights and beachside bites. Visit GoToBermuda.com We just see things differently.
Peace to the planet, Charlamagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkag.co/audio. Limited time offer.
WMAL, making sense of the economy because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
I want to come to the phones in just a moment. First, we've got another idiot Democrat member of Congress, Jasmine Crockett, on the floor of the House of Representatives, and she was out there yesterday. They're desperate, they're crazy, they're dishonest, they have the brains of squirrels, and Jasmine Crockett certainly falls into all of those categories. I can't even say what it says on the sheet here, but beeping moron Jasmine Crockett on the House floor because she's like, well, sure, I took money from Jeffrey Epstein. Sure, I'm taking my text messages and my questions in a hearing from Jeffrey Epstein. But, some Republicans got money from Jeffrey Epstein, too, 25 years ago.
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly.
Somebody named
Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review.
What a charming manner of speech she has. Her accents, she's keeping it real, I believe, is what it's called. We've been making the money. We hit it wetter. You're in the Congress of the United States of America. Maybe you shouldn't sound like trash living in a bus stop in a cardboard box. Just thinking. And wait a minute. What is all this? I'm sorry, Mitt Romney. Billionaires who live in New York, they send checks out at election time to everybody that's running because they want invitations and things like that, right? But I got to tell you, first of all, I'm going to say it out loud. The ghettification of the U.S. Congress is well underway, thanks to the Democrat Party, with largely illiterate, inarticulate minority women in many, many cases, just sounding like trash. If they were Caucasians and from the South, they would freely call them white trash on MS-13 DNC and on CNN and in the pages of thousands of websites. But these people are low rent, low class, They're ghetto-y. They lie. They don't speak well, and they're not truthful. And I've got to say that's kind of a big thing. That's the biggest thing, not being truthful. Really big. I remember when that mattered, when that counted for something. Not anymore, as you can see. All right, we've been talking about. I got to tell you, one of the things people are really responding to is the vaccines and RFK Jr. team making a change to the website that nobody should have even noticed for months. But okay, the news media jumping all over it and trashing RFK Jr., the only Democrat that they'll trash. Aren't they amazing? But there are a couple of calls that I'd like to get to on the big board, because people have had a lot of experience. A lot of people have had a lot of experience with this. Let's start with, let's go to Jay, calling from Central Arkansas. It says Central Ark. I thought maybe a Central Park to begin with. Jay, you're on the Chris Plank Show.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey,
Thanks
Jay.
for taking my...
You bet.
Yeah, that was a wonderful segment you had on autism and vaccines. And I wanted to call and add my 2 cents to it. Thank you for that platform. I've studied vaccines. I told the call screener that I taught for 35 years, and I'm an emeritus professor in a medical school. And people need to know that these vaccines contain heavy metals. One of the heavy metals was thimerosal, which is a mercury compound. And that's been taken out of the vaccines because of its toxicity. Now, it's substituted with aluminum salts. And those aluminum salts act as adjuvants, which allow the slow release of the antigens in the vaccine that stimulate the immune response. So you get a longer, more fulminant immune response when you have the adjuvant. The problem is that aluminum is clearly a neurotoxin. The studies go back many, many years, and the proof is solid. The brain is composed of about 60% fat. It's the fattest organ in the human body. And heavy metals are attracted to fat because of the lipophilic nature, and they accumulate in fat tissue. So it's clear that they do accumulate in the brain. In fact, meta-analysis studies have shown that if you analyze the hairs and urine of children with autism, they have high levels of heavy metals, most notably aluminum.
Wow.
So studies are there. I don't think it's absolute unequivocal proof, but it certainly needs to be investigated, in a deeper way. And clearly there's a financial incentive to continue giving all these vaccines to children.
Right. By the millions and millions every year. And and how many vaccines are kids getting now? I think when I was a kid, we were supposed to get 3 when I was a kid, I think.
Well, I'm an old fella. I think I got 3 or 4. And now it's
measles, mumps, and rubella.
Yeah, MMR.
Right.
And in fact, they give hepatitis B vaccine to infants, which is ridiculous because hepatitis B virus is transmitted sexually and from blood and blood products. So it's not likely, unless the mother has hepatitis B, that an infant will need a vaccine.
Yeah.
So I hate to sound trite, but it really is a money-making proposition, and pediatricians are paid by pharmaceutical companies to give these vaccines.
Now, Doctor, you saw the story today that we've been talking about and the change made to the health department website. And what's your, I assume that you have, because you're an intelligent man and you're discussing the topic, and I assume you have access to high-speed internet. You know, the Democrats are always trying to get high-speed internet free to everybody. And when you saw the change, and it's kind of a tweak to the website, what was your response? Is that irresponsible, or is that overdue?
I think it's overdue, and I think it is responsible to do it.
Responsible to do it, yeah.
Absolutely, no question. And I applaud RFK Jr.
Wow.
That man has a constitution to be taking all of this, I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
And so I applaud him. It's time for us to take a serious look at this. And to do it scientifically, really scientifically, and there's so much money involved in it. It's a driving force in denial. And I'll go on record saying that because it is. And we're putting our kids through this just for the God almighty dollars. So,
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm very happy that you called in, doctor, in 35 years, professor emeritus, teaching medicine, and you're a vax guy. Your career a virologist, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and you think that the change made to the website is appropriate, and we ought to be looking more closely at this because if it hasn't been ruled out, then it's still a question on the table, right?
It is, in fact, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You called in. You're my guest.
I just think there needs to be more meta-analysis to look at, multiple studies and compile the data and look at it epidemiologically and to see. Because, what we have now is an epidemic of autism spectrum disorder. And it's not been seen before like this. And this gentleman's daughter, who developed it within weeks, from my readings, that's not unusual. It can happen very. So, I think people have one or two experiences, and that becomes solid science, and that's just observational. But there are multiple people with children who developed autism soon after receiving the vaccine. And I believe personally, it's the number of vaccines they get over a short period of time.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Jay, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate your calm contribution, and that's why we're here, to give people a flat platform to discuss the things that we ought to be discussing and to tell the truth. Jay, thank you very much. And I'm being nudged here by Jeff, and rightly so, because our brilliant listeners have called in and said, "Hey, Plant, you're just talking about all this crazy stuff, Jeffrey Epstein," because, and I was actually going to go back to that, and in fact, I've got another one to go back to now, because it's true that you had this dim-witted Jasmine Crockett, dishonest lunatic Democrat who was prattling on the House floor, the floor of the House of Representatives yesterday, about all these Republicans that took money from Jeffrey Epstein because they're trying to spread the scum, which is all over themselves. And so, he gave money to Mitt Romney when he was running for president. That's because he's a multi-billionaire living in New York, and every multi-billionaire living in New York gave money to both sides of every presidential election in modern history. That said, Mitt Romney wasn't on the airplane with Jeffrey Epstein like Bill Clinton was more than a dozen times. And Mitt Romney didn't invite Jeffrey Epstein over to his house like Bill Clinton did when he was president of the United States living in the White House. And the list goes on and on. And then, of course, there was the Lee Zeldin claim made by, and I was planning on getting back to this because it's in the next soundbite, number 8. But I was planning to get on this because the dim-witted member of Congress, Jasmine Crockett, said, "Oh, yeah, sure, Jeffrey Epstein gave money to Lee Zeldin." And he's now, Lee Zeldin, former member of the House, and he's now in the Trump administration, of course. And it turns out that Lee Zeldin did get a contribution from a man named Jeffrey Epstein, but it was a medical doctor named Jeffrey Epstein and a completely different Jeffrey Epstein. And she had her staff go look at the internet and find for their websites where you can see who contributed to what political sites, and just took the names and didn't bother to check it. Now, how many, if you took the New York City phone book and looked up Jeffrey Epstein, how many Jeffrey Epsteins do you think would be in just the city of New York? Forget nationwide, but just the city of New York, there would be many Jeffrey Epsteins just in New York City alone. Now, let's go back to soundbite number 8, because on CNN, Caitlin Collins then asked Jasmine Crockett about Wait, you said that Lee Zeldin got money from Jeffrey Epstein. It sounded like this.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies.
No, you just deceive, misrepresent, don't check the facts because you're like a Democrat, every Democrat. And I'm sorry, they decided to spring it on us at the last minute. Is that what happened? This was sprung on you at the last. This has been going on for months, you maroon. Isn't that amazing? Caitlin Collins with Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, but people might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
Registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know. When you search FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do, I texted and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the convicted.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC.
Yeah, the FEC website of donors, and we found somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, and we decided to attack people based on my low IQ. And isn't that amazing? Jasmine Crockett.
I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, so you got to listen very carefully, because she said a Jeffrey Epstein, not the Jeffrey Epstein. She didn't just say Jeffrey Epstein. She said a Jeffrey Epstein. So you got to waterboard this person to get like her lunch order would be a big lie. Caitlin Collins.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're talking about. You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees. But why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents.
The lies are so big that no one would dare to not believe them. Joseph Goebbels on a rotisserie in hell has to admire these people for their shamelessness. What a disgrace. Hey, have you heard about the guy fired by the FBI after 16 years? He says because he's gay. CBS News did a big story on it. They didn't have the facts. But that doesn't matter. They're just smearing Republicans as usual. That's coming up.
Did I hear you correctly say that perhaps he was influenced by Google?
News Talk Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
If your patio, sidewalk, or driveway is cracked or uneven, if you've tripped or fallen as a result, or if you're worried about the liability of an uneven surface on your property, American Concrete Services can quickly help. Don't pay the high cost to tear out and replace your sidewalk, patio, driveway, or pool deck. American Concrete Services has an economical solution which can raise and stabilize your existing concrete at a fraction of the cost of full replacement. They're environmentally friendly structural foam. With structural foam lifting, there's no heavy equipment to cause damage to your property and no loud noises from jackhammering. Best of all, most repairs can be completed in just one day. Have your entire patio, sidewalk, or driveway safe and level again. No job is too big or small. Call American Concrete Services now for your free estimate at 240-665-5665. That's 240-665-5665. Again, 240-665-5665. Licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. NHIC 140530.
Peace to the planet, Charlemagne the God here. Getting real about your mental health journey means connecting with real people. Call, text, or chat 988 if you're having tough thoughts, substance use issues, stress at home or at work. They can even talk to you through worries you're having about somebody you love. 988 counselors are ready to hear from you 24/7. No cost, no judgment, no stigma. It's also private. Asking for help is the strongest thing that you can do. Just connect with 988, a message from the New York State Office of Mental Health.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
The best diamonds in the world are waiting for you at Mervis Diamond Importers. For the largest diamond collection and the best value, visit Mervis. At Mervis, you don't have to be an expert to buy like one. Nobody pays retail anymore. Why should you? MervisDiamond.com or call 800-PER-LOVE.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HEART. That's promo code HEART. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. With promo code HEART, in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Hey, it's Chris Plant. We already have over 100 listeners booked to join us next July on our 2026 Listener Sea Cruise. Together, we're going to be sailing the Mediterranean, the Aegean, the Adriatic, aboard the beautiful Seven Seas Splendor. It's going to be a great trip with lots of like-minded people I know you're going to love meeting. So join in on the fun and make new friends. Book today to secure the best cabin rates before we sell out. Visit ChrisPlantCruise.com. That's ChrisPlantCruise.com.
WMAL, making sense of the markets, because generational wealth doesn't build itself. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
CBS News had a big story last night. The headline is Veteran FBI Employee, notice not the word agent, employee files lawsuit claiming he was fired for displaying a pride flag. And Scott McFarlane is the person. A 16-year FBI employee has filed a lawsuit alleging he was fired last month because he had a pride flag draped near his desk. Let's go to the soundbite number 13, Scott McFarlane, CBS News last night.
Were you surprised when you got the word you were to leave?
I wasn't surprised. I was definitely disappointed. I knew, not truly firsthand, but I knew I was on a list. There was fear after the administration came in that they were going to start looking at all of our personnel files where some of us did self-identify our sexual orientation. Some people did identify as trans.
And were they all fired? That's David Moltinsky. He was weeks away from being elevated to the position of agent.
after 16 years. Seems like a long time. It continued.
So there was fear early on that DOJ was going to collect this and curate a list and get rid of the undesirables.
You say it pretty casually.
Yeah,
but
undesirables.
It's pretty powerful to hear that phrase. You say you were likely on a list.
A list, you say, likely.
That's quite something.
It is.
It's concerning.
Yeah, but it's not proven. It's not been established. David Maltinsky, who is weeks away from being elevated to the position of agent, claims the firing is unlawful and sent a ripple effect of fear, as the third time with fear, through the LGBT employees at the FBI. We're not the enemy. We're not some political mob. And I got to tell you, an FBI agent friend of mine texted me moments ago, a career FBI agent, well known, says, "Hey, Chris, on my last squad, we had 2 gay agents, one female and one male. The male was very vocal about his gayness. He got promoted many times. But, you know, CBS News, they don't want to scratch the surface too deeply because there it is. And it's all just another, so the guy wants a paycheck and he's been there for 16 years. He's not promoted to agent. I think he might have some other issues. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I'm going to have to bring this back in tomorrow. The story with Grindr put on a fashion show featuring the wool of gay sheep. How did they know the sheep were gay? Oh, they found out. They found out the old-fashioned way. They found out the hard way. Hey, Mr. Sheep, are you gay? Nah. And I'll put your back legs in my boots over here and let's talk about college football.
We are one nation under God, indivisible, together.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at noon. I'm Heather Curtis. Happening moments ago, former President George W. Bush eulogized the late Vice President Dick Cheney as he's being honored and laid to rest at the National Cathedral.
I appreciate this chance to say a few words about a man I was proud to call my vice president and my friend. Though not a happy assignment, I do consider it an easy one because there was so much to like and admire about Dick Cheney.
The only other former president there is Joe Biden. President Trump wasn't invited. Vice President J.D. Vance did offer his condolences when asked during an event in the district today. He said, quote, obviously there's some political disagreements there, but he was a guy who served his country. We certainly wish his family all the best at this moment of grieving. The Montgomery County School Board set to vote later today on Superintendent Thomas Taylor's request for $2.7 billion for capital improvements to bring infrastructure up to date.
MCBS requests this